Welcome, everyone. Our guest today is Paul Dockendorf. How you doing today, Paul?
I'm doing good. How are you guys all doing?
Good.
Thanks for inviting me.
Paul Rockendorf.
Rockendorf. Yeah, and Paul is an old 93X guy along with Patrick, so he's got some stories. In fact, I hear you spent the afternoon hanging out with Dane Cook.
Yeah, I spent this past Friday with Dane Cook all day, and trust me, Dane Cook is not the same as Dane Cook was in 2005, 2006. But I mean, just to have the guy sit and talk to you and go through his comedy act just on you.
Meaning what? He's not the same guy, meaning what? He's not a douchebag? He's more humble and cool now?
No, he's still kind of a douchebag, but like he like tells these jokes and you're like, are you ripping on it or what? And then you're like, it's just a joke. I just want to see if it works. And I'm like, okay. But when he talks, it's that same electric personality and he's all over the damn place. And you're just like, I don't know if this is an act, but no, I think it's real.
You know,
so you're the butt of everything, right?
Was
Yeah.
the joke, who did he steal the joke from? That's my question.
Yeah,
Was
I
it
don't
a Louis
know.
CK joke? Was it?
I didn't ask.
He was notorious for stealing jokes, by the way.
well, you know, it's
Still
funny. It's funny because I mean, the one movie that I saw him in, I thought was hilarious, is when he worked at like that big Sam's Club type of deal, and I think Jessica Simpson's she was in that. That was pretty funny. I mean,
Well, he was the cook in waiting.
That's
he
right.
fucking
Yeah,
owned that role. Yeah.
Aren't we getting him on here soon?
Dane Cook.
Dane-
God, I wish.
Who was the comedian that we're getting on?
Yeah.
That if we our schedules align, Rudy Pavich.
Oh,
Rudy Pavich. Okay.
Yeah.
I just spoke
Rudy
with Rudy
Pavich.
on Friday.
Pavich. So yeah, and
Paul knows Rudy.
Yeah,
From
we used to live
93X days.
together. We used to live together. And
really,
I just booked him for a gig at Treasure Island
Yeah.
in a couple months. So.
we would love to get him
What
on.
day? What day is it? Because then he has no excuse to blow us off. Because
January
if he's gonna be in
17th.
town- Okay, we'll definitely get him for
And
that for
Quote,
sure. If
quote
not,
from
November.
Rudy, quote, I'd love to be in town for a couple days because I can do some stuff that I need to do. So there you go.
No, there's
Perfect.
So a
Perfect.
podcast.
So Paul, what are you drinking?
I'll have a Diet Coke.
All right.
Okay,
And-
Brett. I think we need to start change this to at the bar with at the sober house with.
Yeah.
Most of our guests don't drink.
Thank you.
There you go.
By the way,
Well-
what's the difference between? And this is a serious question because what's the difference between like Diet Coke and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar? Is there a difference, or is it just a naming thing?
I think it's just a
Because-
naming thing, but
I know
same.
it's your fat ass. That's what.
Well, no, but I recently got into like drinking soda again, so I drink Cherry Coke Zero Sugar,
Gene, look it up.
and it tastes like fucking amazing compared to like if you just called it Diet Cherry Coke.
Well, yeah, it does. It tastes
is it
like
different, or is it just my mind saying, "Oh, this is a different rebrand," and is it better that way, or is it actually something different?
they're tricking you into thinking it's something different.
what was the question again? What's the
But it
difference?
tastes better than I remember.
It does.
So
Yeah.
they're just mind fucking us.
Still
right?
don't taste as good as McDonald's Diet Coke.
Oh, I know that it is. I mean, and they talk about it is because it's they don't use the bags. You know, they actually use the cylinders that have the syrup in it. So I mean, it's good stuff.
And they ultra filter their water that they use
Right.
to make it with too. So
True.
It's not like tap water.
Yeah. And now we got something here for Stacy to taste. He's going to let us know how this is. We have this is from Fulton. It's the Tropical Lonely Blonde, and apparently this has got it's a blonde ale with passion fruit, orange, and guava.
That's all I need is a lonely blonde.
So yeah,
The last
I've been looking for a lonely blonde my whole life.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you order one of those at the bar,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah,
if the bartender
you
asks
might
if
get-
you want a 12 or 16 one. Good.
So I guess they differ in sweetness and ingredients. So Diet Coke sweetened with aspartame, Coke Zero sweetened with a combination of aspartame and acetylmolfame potassium. Acetylfame, or whatever that is.
Stacy, next time you get a lonely blonde, make sure she's 18 this time. Okay? We don't need to. You need to
Wow.
learn from your mistakes, pal.
Well, I only learn from the best, you Pat. So you got to do that. What is that?
Yeah, what
What
is
do
that?
you?
Oh,
So I'm going to try a little Appleton Estate 12-year with Coke to see what this tastes like.
okay. Oh, just to see what it tastes
Yeah,
like.
right.
Just to see
No,
what
I haven't had the 12-year,
Okay.
but I'm going to try it with some of our, speaking of Coca-Cola, cane sugar Coca-Cola. So we're going to see how this works. And
Oh, I'm gonna taste it as I fill up my glass.
no, I'm
And
gonna-
what's the difference between cane sugar and corn syrup?
Cane sugar's natural.
I know. Just
Shut up.
yeah,
That's right.
one's
famous.
healthy for you and one is not.
Isn't that supposed to be a big change now in our?
Well, yeah, because of the yellow dye and stuff like that. I guess the Maha movement is, going towards doing more
RFK Jr.
natural,
in the house.
doing more natural dyes like they do in Europe. So they use like beet juice and they use kind of natural dyeing ingredients rather than the stuff that we have.
That's illegal everywhere in the world.
50% of the dyes that we have in our food is outlawed in the
Everywhere
world,
else.
but here. So
No,
Yeah, they don't even put Ritz crackers on the shelves in Europe.
you
It's
guys can
like,
correct me if
what?
I'm wrong. Are you
Yeah.
supposed to mix something that's 12 years old with pop?
Soda.
Is that legal?
it is in my bar.
That's what you're supposed to drink. That stuff. You're supposed to mix cheap stuff with.
Well, yeah, you put the Coke on the side and you
But at least you
drink
had-
and drink. So if I'm gonna put it together in my mouth anyway, I might as well put it together
Yeah, but
in
if
a
he-
glass.
Coke.
It goes in my
Yeah,
mouth.
but
Babe
he
dish.
used the good Coke.
Coke or good Coke?
Okay, let's put it up here.
Just kidding.
Oh,
All right,
let's put this one up to Ace Frehley.
Ace Frehley.
The Ace
Aw.
Frehley.
No one's
R.I.P.
asking what the fuck I drank. Fuck you guys.
Well, you were
Oh,
drinking water
You
had
were drinking water
coffee.
because of the story that we just heard about.
and
Well, you didn't
coffee.
ask. That's
Oh.
rude. That was before. We weren't recording then. I'm special.
What are you
So
having?
What do you have?
What's in your
I have
coffee?
I have coffee.
Oh,
I have cider.
Ooh,
I
wait,
have
let's see that cider.
Gatorade,
Let's see that cider. What
and
is
I
it
have
today?
Jim Beam.
and you
And-
have water.
Is there Jim Beam in
Yeah.
that coffee?
No, I'm not privy to say.
And what cider are you drinking today, or what do you have
It's
there?
the same. It's the Golden State Mighty Dry.
You
It's
like
Golden
that Mighty
State
Dry.
Dry.
What did you think of that tropical one that you had the other day?
It's okay. If they were out of Mighty Dry, I'd take a pineapple again, a radical pineapple.
I think he was out of vodka that day.
Then I could be a ratty patty.
A Ratty Patty. Oh
Yeah.
boy, you just nailed the coffin on that one. Ratty Patty.
So
The-
how is it, Stacy?
The Lonely Blonde is really good. However, my tasters don't work very well since my sniffer doesn't work very well. But it's not as high as IBUs as I
Mhm.
thought it would be.
You're never gonna get a real blonde saying that shit. You might as well just say, "I don't eat pussy," and they're just gonna let you go.
Well, it's a Lonely
that one
Blonde,
out.
so.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit.
That reminds me of the story
Wow.
that I told last week. Remember, I tell you that story about
The
my
glitter spray or
no, my friend, my ex-friend, his dad couldn't smell. He couldn't smell. And so we were hanging out with his parents one day and we're all sitting around and all of a sudden he's like, "What is that I taste?" Well, someone totally ripped a fart and he tasted it. That's true.
Oh,
That's actually a true story.
oh God.
So the
Did you have
line.
broccoli?
I taste broccoli.
Asparagus.
Yeah, asparagus.
Okay,
Wow.
so here's your edit. Here's your back end. I am
Okay.
drinking Golden State cider amongst other things too. But yeah, let's cheers. That's fucking.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Ace
Cheers.
Frehley.
Cheers.
Well, it just means we're getting older
Yep.
because I mean, and it goes in
The bassist
threes.
from Limp Bizkit.
So, yep.
Another very influential person in the JKD Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do world is Tim Tackett, who passed away as well, which
Oh,
was another student of Dan Inosanto. And
It's tough. It's been kind of a tough year for
cool people.
Cool people.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a theory about this. So when the golden age of like movies, rock, radio, all that stuff kind of came to fruition in the 60s, if you think about it. And that's when we had electronic media. And that's when we got to know all these people. Like there was famous people before that, but it was just like you had to go to a theater. You had to read about them in the paper. But since they grew up in this era where everything was broadcast and accessible, now it's, 50, 60, 70 years later from all this golden age of when we grew up watching these rock stars and movie stars and all that. it's gonna seem like everyone's dying, and it's gonna be like, yeah, everyone is gonna die because
Yeah.
they're about the age where they're gonna die, and we have television and we have Facebook and we have social media. So
Well, the
it's like,
fact that we're old as crap now too, anyway, right?
yeah. So, but yeah, everything we saw and knew growing up, it's gonna start to fizzle out in front of our eyes. These 70, 80-year-old folks are gonna that entertained us for years are gonna go, and it's gonna
Welcome
seem
to
like, holy
50s.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's
Paul,
gone.
how old are you?
I'm 51.
So you are in the same category.
Yeah, I know. I've been saying it for 2 years. I'm like, I mean, I got it. Feels like I see more people at funerals than I do at
Right.
parties. You know,
Versus graduation parties, then it's weddings and baby showers.
It's like,
now it's
remember the part
funerals.
of Wedding Crashers where they started crashing funerals?
yeah.
Yeah, well, after 51, you'll just forget anyway, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
I always have to ask Brett, how old am I again? I don't remember.
Well, that's saying something right there.
I
If you
serious.
can't remember, then you're probably over 50.
Yep.
Definitely. So tell me, so how cool was it to hang out with Dane Cook? I mean,
I wouldn't call it cool, but I mean, it was interesting to be around. I've been around a lot of comedians, but because back in his heyday, I thought he was hilarious, but now to see him still doing that, but to see him play in a room with only 2,500 people there compared to 17,000, and he's still the same guy,
right.
was kind of amazing to me. And then to see him in the back, kind of getting ready to how he prepares himself that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
So let's get into this really quick. Why were you with him? And so this is a little bit about your background and so forth. And you work for Treasure Island.
Yes.
Okay. And tell us about that and how you got into that.
Well, so yeah, I've been at Treasure Island since 2019. I am the head of entertainment there. I'm the buyer, the
Okay.
promoter for all the shows. It's indoor or outdoor. Indoor is a room, like I said, like 2,500 people.
Mhm.
My outdoor venue is a 16,000 person venue.
Wow.
So I mean,
And you're the head guy, right?
I'm the head guy.
You
Yeah,
can tell that because he's got dirt on his knees.
So
Yeah.
Brett,
yeah.
why aren't you hiring him to book our guests?
Yeah.
But I mean, I just it's kind of one of those things where after I left radio a long time ago, I worked for Pabst Blue Ribbon. I did some stuff, and I met a lot of people in the entertainment business. And then I got hired once I left Pabst to work in the entertainment business with some record labels and stuff. And I learned a lot about the business as it is. I mean, I've never been a musician myself, but I've learned a lot about the whole business. And once I stopped, touring and stuff like that, a friend of mine owned a bar in Minneapolis called The Park, and he said, "Hey, come book the music for me."
Mhm.
And I'm like, I kind of want to get out of the business. He's like, "No, just come buy the music." I'm like, "All right." So I did that for a couple years. And then somebody at Treasure Island was like, "We got the perfect guy. He's got to come down here and work." And they called me. I went down there. And at first I was kind of like, I'm used to booking like
Music.
like maybe thousand person shows max. And then, a year later you're booking a 15,000 person show at the casino. And with the casino, there's so many of these hurdles, but it's really cool because you're still doing what you love to do. But yeah, I mean, we do some crazy stuff down there, and just so many different types of genres and music, and we bring in so many different people. It's pretty fun.
So you
do.
go ahead, Pat.
Sorry, Stacy.
Patrick.
You do not only concerts, but yeah, you were just kind of hinting at what you do. So there's comedy, there's probably Cirque du Soleil, there's all sorts of anything you could put into a venue, right?
Yeah, last weekend I had Wheel of Fortune there all weekend.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
We didn't get
When-
tickets? Wow.
is your I'm not saying your job is easy, but is it more where people approach you, or do you have to go out and find things to book, or is it
It's
kind of book
definitely
itself?
Yeah, it's definitely a combination. A lot of stuff. I mean, I might get an idea in my head and be like, "Oh, let's try to find something that I can do like this," and I start calling agents. A lot of stuff will get pitched to me, and then it's my job to figure out, will it be a good fit for us? Do I really think people are going to drive 45 minutes from the cities to come to this show?
Mhm.
Also, the other thing with the casino is, are they going to gamble, which is a major thing for the casino.
Oh,
'Cause
sure.
What I have found is I've done some really, really big shows down there. That's great, because the outdoor venue is kind of treated as a different entity, as more of an entertainment entity. But you bring 16,000 people down there,
And they're not
none
gamblers?
of your big gamblers. None of your big gamblers
no.
are coming down there because they know there's going to be nowhere to park. There'll be no hotel rooms. We have the second biggest hotel in the state,
Mhm.
but on a show night, that it's sold out.
Mhm.
And
In your
none of the,
outdoor venue and in the wintertime, can you be creative with that? Like, can you have the snow cross there, or like
we've thought about
anything
it,
like
but we
yeah.
just don't think it would work too much because of the way it's kind of set up. So, but we've done monster trucks, but not in that venue. I found another place that I can do things.
So you want to look for people that are going to actually stay in the hotel as well, and not just
Right.
come for 45 minutes and
Correct.
and bust out.
Correct, because we are really on an island,
Mm-hmm.
so it's one way in,
Yep.
one way out.
Yep.
So you want to get them down there, but we have so much more to offer everybody when they come that it's not just a concert they're coming for.
Mhm.
We got a water park with a swim up bar. You guys might like
Oh, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
I almost drowned it at
you know,
one.
yeah, we got a bowling alley.
Grounded.
We got all that.
Drowned it.
So, yeah.
You had me at swim up bar, man.
Yeah, no shit.
Pat, you can swim?
Just because I'm kind of stupid and I only know, I think I went to Shakopee for the Mistake Lake.
Yeah.
But where's Treasure Island? Is it like far south? It's like
No.
south, right? It's
Yeah,
like-
it's funny. People think it's so far away. It's just north of Red Wing, Minnesota. So it's
Oh, okay.
about 40 minutes from downtown St. Paul.
oh yeah, that's not bad at all.
So you're saying, Patrick, you haven't been to Minnesota in a long time, and you need to come back? Is
Yeah,
that?
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying.
Once the airfares dip below 700, dude, I'm in Sacramento. I could fly to Hawaii for $249, and for some reason, to fly to Minneapolis is $776. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, there's a
And I
reason
just-
for that, but we won't go over that over air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But,
is this something that you just get into? Is this just something that kind of fell into place? It doesn't sound like something that somebody actually goes, this is what I want to do for the rest of my
Right.
life and go to school for. It just all of a sudden these chips fell where they may and you ended up there?
Pretty much. I mean,
Interesting.
it's a lot of relationships that I built over the years, and it has really helped me. So, I was a little bit skeptical about going into about this big, huge venue and would I assimilate to it real well? Because I'm used to the smaller stuff and, doing stuff, a lot of local stuff and stuff like that. But I mean, I took to it like water. And then once I got comfortable, then I started, okay, now I'm going to bring some of the older elements that I have and use them. So like, there's a lot of times where I will do a massive show, either inside or outside. And I'll call the agent and say, hey, look, I know there's no support on this act. Will you let me go find the support? And they're like, yeah. And I'll right away tap right into that local market and try to help out local bands, just like Patrick always did, just like I've always done for the last 20 years. Yeah.
So you're going to go to Vegas next? Is that what the next the deal is? Get those
And-
really
and so-
big shows?
That's where Rudy lives. I might.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. But Paul is like me and many others in radio in a specific way where we were in radio and it's kind of it's not a very tangible job that you can explain to people. You have to be several things. I was a DJ. I was also a producer. I was also
Spiking Viking?
Spiking Viking.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people after their radio career, you go, oh shit, what am I going to do now? And Paul kind of did the same thing that I did. Is like, well, I know how to manage things. I can manage several things, right? And I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn for you, Paul. You can interject, but it's kind of like some guys went and sold cars, and you once you're just like a radio guy and that's all you know, and you get let go, you're like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? And so, like, Paul, how did you react to that, and how did that step up into? And it seems like you fell into the perfect the perfect role.
I mean,
But
yeah,
you know
when
what
I-
I'm talking about, right?
Exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about because it's like a shock to the system when all of a sudden you're out and you're like, oh,
What next?
what am I going to do? I
You
enjoy
can't go
doing
to
that.
IBM and say, hey, I can promote your next band.
But then you
it's like-
also realize, like, I met so many people during my time in radio and developed skills that I didn't even realize like I was like really
you had,
good
yeah.
at. And then the first thing I did when I left radio is I got hired by Pabst Blue Ribbon, and they literally made me their field marketing manager for the entire country. And I was like, what? I don't even know how to do this job. They're like, yeah, you do. Did you ever do street teams at 93X? Yeah, you're our guy. And I literally went around the country and threw parties with people in other towns, but I learned so much about marketing and promoting that I'd already learned in radio that it started to snowball.
Mm.
So then I started working for record labels and doing marketing and promotions, and then I started road managing. But all of it was kind of entangled in this one kind of specific set of skills. And then I was like, oh, maybe I could try actually putting concerts on myself and being an actual promoter then, because I've worked with a ton of promoters. And then it just like every single thing I've ever learned, I now put into this current role that I'm in.
Well, that's cool. So it sounds like you really enjoy your job.
I do enjoy my job. Yeah.
And Paul, like what you were saying is like one of my favorite quotes I came across on LinkedIn or something stupid is hire for attitude and persona. Skills can be taught. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if you just present yourself in a certain way and you say, actually, if you're humble about it and say, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have X, Y, and Z as skills and I'd love to apply it. Boom. And someone gives you that opportunity. You can make it happen. Right. I mean,
Yep, exactly. That's how I got into radio.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too. Paul and I both I started interning at KQRS overnights with Mae Young, like Friday and Saturday nights when I was going to Brown College for radio. And so I would be there from midnight till 5 just to hang out, answer phones, just to have my fucking foot in the door, right? And from there, I got to intern for Wally Walker. And then from there, I got to go around with Terry Train and set up promotions, and I was part of the KQ promo staff. And then X105 happened, and Dave Hamilton was like, all right, Wade Linder, you're the guy. And Wade Linder was like, oh shit, I got to fill a staff. And I was like, hi, I'm Patrick. And he's like, okay, go in and do the overnights. And so like, I just kind of just followed along and progressed. And you kind of did the same thing. I remember you were just a green intern, and then you ended up running the show.
Yeah. It's crazy. You know what? Sometimes you just find the right fit. You know?
Yeah. And
it
so
just
Paul,
kind of
Paul
falls in your lap.
Was a great member of the promotion staff, and then he became like the assistant promotion guy, and then, cuts happened and people got cut, and then it was like, well, Paul, you're the guy.
Yeah.
And
well, you got to have a good,
ride the wave, right?
a good personality too. I'm sure everybody gets to get along with everybody, and
I don't know about that.
well, that's why you're in California, Patrick.
Yeah. California Patrick.
Ratty Patty.
Ratty Patty.
So how did you and Pat just met through the working at 93X, Patrick?
Yeah, that's how we met.
Every time Stacy calls me Pat, I'm gonna beat him with a belt when I come back to Minnesota. That's one lashing right there.
I was gonna show you my phone list. I got seven Pat and Patrick's going down the line.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Patrick and I we used to do tailgate parties together. He'd show up as Spiking Viking, and we were doing tailgate parties outside the old Metro dump, and we had a lot of good times back in the day. It was fun.
We went to Paul, can I tell this story?
You tell whatever
it's
story
kind of
you
rock
want.
Star. All right, but so Paul was also kind of popular with the ladies, if you will. Back in the day, take 20 years off him, put a red ball cap on him, turn it backwards. He was like
I know what story you're going to tell now.
He was a Fred Durst lookalike, man. And he did well with the ladies. But we were in Somerset, and we were in this cabin together, and of course he's sleeping with an ex-girl. I don't think they were doing much because I was in the next fucking bed over, but it was just like, Jesus Christ, man, you're hanging out. You got an ex-girl to keep you warm all night. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm not. I'm the DJ, man. I got nobody. But yeah, it was fun times. Yeah, we did all that shit, and the X Fest weekends were the bomb because we all operate. And poor Paul, I just had to sleep and like get enough energy to go on stage and go, "What's up, motherfuckers? Here comes Cool Chamber." But Paul and the promotions team, man, they had to like work. They had to be there at 6 a.m. Make sure gates were this and that was that, and people were in place and stage managers were set up. Like, I can't imagine, but. Paul, why don't you talk about those X-Fest weekends and how much that, you probably worked 72 hours and got 2 hours of sleep over the whole weekend.
Yeah, but we got to see the show for free. Anyway, you know what? Those X-Fest weekends were crazy. They were so much fun. But, that was like my first real, like, how would you say, like, exposure to any type of production thing, any type of that. And honestly, like, the lessons I learned at those big festivals, I like my backstage in the amphitheater, people are like, why is it so quiet? I'm like, because I have a certain standard that I like to keep. It's
Right.
called organization. You have to know what you're doing,
Mhm.
what time this is happening. And they're like, how do you keep it all in your head? I'm like, because I'm like a racehorse.
Mhm.
Like I know exactly what I want done. I know exactly when it needs to be done. But it's all about. But you're trying not to burn yourself out. But you just gotta. At the end of the day, it's the teamwork at the end where you just kind of go, we did it.
Mhm.
And that's how those X-Fest were. Like it was massive undertaking, but everybody, even the DJs, everything that we did together, we did it as a team.
Mhm.
And then, at the end of the weekend, we'd always be like, yeah, sweet, maybe get some pizza.
Well, I mean, and they were great. I remember that back in the day, Patrick would like, oh, here's some passes to go see, X Fest and stuff. And I remember one year, Gene and I went, and God, we just got just a little too inebriated. But I'm at the very back, and there's probably 3,000 people in front of me, and some guy looks at me and goes, "You want to surf?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "You want to surf?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he goes like this, launches me up on people, and all of a sudden I'm getting closer and closer to the stage. And I remember it was Everclear that was playing. And I get up to the barrier, and it's probably 10 feet between the stage and the barrier, and they just launch me over the barrier, and it's like a 10-foot drop, and I like land on my head, and I'm like, ah. And,
Oh, man.
and Everclear stops, and I remember Art saying, "Dude, you okay?" And I'm like, "Yep, yep."
Yeah. I mean,
And the security guard comes around and goes, "Oh my God, dude, that was so cool." And then leads me back out and shoves me back into the crowd.
You want to do it again?
And I was like, oh, my body hurt the next day. I mean, they launched me right over, but the amount of people that were there, I mean, it was a sea of people, and how you manage that, that's got to be a lot of stress.
it is a lot of stress because, for me, when I'm putting on a show, the number one thing for me is safety.
Yeah.
And keeping everyone safe. That's not only there, but keeping everybody that's there working safe too. So, that's stuff that's kind of a little stressor on show days, but we do a really good job down there. I mean, there's a police station literally right on site because Prairie Island is its own government. So we have our own police force. We bring a lot of security down, but we make sure that the bands know they're safe when they're down there, and they always, compliment us on. It's not a lot of times that you go to a venue and they have literally a full-time 24-hour-a-day security staff that literally knows the property in and out. A lot of times venues will just have security that they hired for that event. Or it's a little different when you come to a
like
place
Asia
that.
security.
You have
or
in-house.
anything.
You have a team that's there all the time, right?
We have good,
So I was going to ask too about a reputation. I'm sure this is really important, but what you do with the bands and the people you work with, the promoters and the bigwigs, if you run a shitty operation, they're probably not going to come back to Treasure Island. So
100%.
I'm guessing 90% of your job is to make sure everything is perfect all the time, so that way people come back and you have a reputation to uphold, right?
And it's not even just that. It's I got to keep a good reputation inside that business, but now the money that my concerts are making are helping support an entire community, right? So anything I bring to the Treasure Island has to represent Treasure Island well, and it puts a good shine on it. So when I bring
and you're talking about the population that lives there.
Yes. Yeah. And it's very important to me that for them that those events succeed, but then it's also like we bring Carrie Underwood or we bring Hailstorm or whoever down there, it also puts a shine on Treasure Island. Like they do events like this. So it's like we want people to know like they do fantastic events.
I'll go there.
And when the guests come here,
they know.
Yes, they know what they're going to get when they come.
So any bad stories?
Oh yeah, I got a couple bad.
It's like that really sucks.
Let's not focus on failure.
No, but the question I wanted to ask is there one particular artist, and you don't have to name the artist, but artist that's come through that was like, I need a bowl of brown peanut M&Ms.
Oh, I can take you one more.
I need to have 6
talk riders,
mint cookies. I mean, something like that where you're looking at them like, are you serious?
Yeah, the worst rider situation I've ever dealt with, and it happened actually this summer. The band BTO from the 70s.
Oh my God.
They were in Randy Bachman.
Overdrive.
Randy Bachman. So I get this rider, and this rider is, I've had massive stars. We had Ozzy there at one
And so
point.
people that don't know, a rider is when you're
Yeah.
going to host an artist, they give you a list of shit they want in their green room. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
And
usually
this-
typically water, food,
Yep.
Yeah.
Typically.
Band-Aids,
Yeah,
weird
typically.
shit, you know,
And if
whatever.
it's Bachman Turner overweight,
So the rider was about 8 pages long, and I'm going, you guys are here for
God.
one day. So I'm going through, I'm like, oh, this is just stupid stuff. And blah. All of a sudden I get to,
Ah,
oh no,
it says, we want 36 glass bottles of Voss water, right? Okay, so I don't know out in California if you can just buy glass bottles of Voss everywhere, but in Minnesota, it's a little hard to find nowadays.
yeah,
The glass ones. Well, then when they called me 2 weeks later and they're like, wait, we need to change that to 72. I'm like, you ain't gonna drink 72 bottles of Voss water in one day. They're like, no, we really need it. I'm like, tell you what, I'll do the best I can. So I ended up finding 36 of the like 24-ounce glass bottles.
yeah.
Costed me $400.
Oh,
I had to get it shipped in. So, okay, so fine. The water's here. I know they'll be happy, blah, blah, blah. Later in the day, when the band's actually on stage, this girl comes up. She goes, hey, she goes, you have a golf cart, right? I'm like, yeah. She goes, can you help me empty out the dressing room? I go, well, yeah, sure. And she's grabbing all this Voss water. I go, where are you going with that? She goes, I'm putting it in the bus. I go, well, doesn't the band want it? She goes, well, it wasn't for the band. It was for the baby.
Whoa.
what?
So Randy's son had a baby with him on tour, and they were using Voss water to make the formula. I was like, are you?
God.
I was pissed.
But you could just
Wow.
get purified
Man.
distilled water at
Right.
the grocery store
Right.
for $1.34 a
Right.
bottle.
Yeah. And I was just like, I literally went up to the
Fucking
tour manager. I said, I go, this kind of stuff it was her first big tour ever.
Yeah.
I said, this is the type of stuff you cannot just push on people. If they can get it, great. But that was a little unnecessary. And the fact that now I'm stocking your bus full of
Yeah, your bus.
$12 bottles of water is ridiculous.
I'd be taking that $400 off of what you pay them. Oh, there's the deduction
Yeah.
for your
But so-
baby water.
Paul,
Yeah.
when we're talking about stuff like this, if you don't honor a rider, like if you don't get all the shit, is there repercussions built into the contract too? Like they
There-
can fine you or
Yep, they can if as long. But I'm smart, so when I send out my offer, because we're a
Mhm.
casino and we have a different government and all that stuff, we have to be very specific about what we allow on property.
Right.
So in my offers, I have a little provision that says all riders are subject to Treasure Island Resort and Casino policies and procedures. So they know. So if I tell them, look, I can't get you that. Sorry, we're not going to pay
Yep.
for it, basically.
Right.
Then they're like, okay, it was in there. We see it. I very rarely have I ever gotten like into we absolutely have to have that or we're not going to show up. Except Duran one time tried to tell me they weren't going to play if I didn't give them this $400 bottle of wine, which would have needed to be shipped in from Chicago.
Oh God.
what the?
So I got them something else, but I was just like, and then they didn't even play the show because it was a huge thunderstorm that night. And I had to pay them anyway. Insurance
Wow.
took care of it.
And it's
Yeah.
Duran.
Yeah, Duran.
Wow.
Yeah.
it's a great show, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I kind of have a frame in my head about how this works. Where are you a promoter? Are you a independent? Like, do you have Live Nation coming at you, or do you go to Live Nation? How does the music business at that high of a level work when it comes to concerts? Do they just say Duran's coming and they have an opportunity for this date?
Yeah. That's
and then
kind of-
and then you also have to compete with Minneapolis, St. Paul venues too,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Yep.
how does
Yep.
all of that work?
So the way I like to explain it is I am an independent promoter for the casino. I'm surrounded by Live Nation venues everywhere. So I'm like the little fish in the big Shark Tank.
And
But
what's Live Nation to people
they
that
are
don't
just
know the business?
they're a massive national worldwide concert promoter that puts on tours, like fully sponsored by Live Nation. They buy the artist, they route all the tours, and they do all that.
So like a ticket master of
yes,
production.
that's exactly what they are. And Live Nation also, they also own Ticketmaster, so it's kind of that's why there's the whole government thing. They need to break them up, which it really is. It is a racket. Like, I mean, they're just getting rich off each other, but that's fine. But my thing is to find little niches of where can I steal a band here and steal a band there, and I've done it. I've stole some bands from an actual Live Nation tour only because there was no Live Nation amphitheater in Minnesota. Now there is, but now it's my relationships with agents that are gonna be like, okay, because like my lineup for next summer, I was like, oh, it's gonna be bad because this new amphitheater is opening. But might be the best summer I ever have next year because the lineup is gonna be crazy.
North?
It's at Canterbury Park.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. No, I saw there's a Iron Maiden's going to fucking Shakopee.
Iron
I was
Maiden's
like,
going
what the
there.
fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on in Shakopee? So I just assumed it was the casino, but maybe it's
No.
it's the new amphitheater. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then your reputation then kind of helps you build that too.
Yep.
So they're like going, "Oh my God, yeah, these guys are awesome." So I can understand where, when you're talking about reputation, you're talking about, when people talk about the casino itself and the venues that, it's top notch. And when you have other rock stars, they're talking to each other about, this is one of the best places we played at,
But you also have to make sure that you're not competing with other casinos and stuff at their shows, because you don't want to book something that's.
Well, Indians still fight. They just do it through casinos. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Treasure Island needs to fucking piss off other.
Well, and we do. They're like, how are you guys getting those shows?
Oh,
Like they're like, what's going on? Like, yeah.
Well,
Wasn't Creed one of those where it fell into perfect place? Like there was not a venue in Minneapolis, St. Paul. They were on tour, and you somehow got them in. And by the way, what a comeback story! For Creed of all fucking bands. Like, they're just drawing 20 grand everywhere they go.
A funny story about the whole Creed thing and how it came together is Creed's main agent called me. It was weird. I remember I was driving into work one morning. He called me and he's like, "Hey, Paul, what's up?" And he's in Atlanta, and he's like, "Hey, there's a little rumor, or it's not a rumor, it's going to probably happen." He goes, "But Creed's going to go out with Three Doors Down and Figure 11." He goes, "Well, how much?" I go, "Ooh, that's cool." And he goes, "Well, how much do you think it would cost?" And I go, "Oh, that's a $1 million show." And he goes, "Believe it or not, no, it's not." And I'm like, "I want it." And he goes, "Well, you're the first casino that knows about it. And you want it." He goes, "Put in an offer right now." He goes, "And I'll send it to the band. And if the band accepts it, before Live Nation puts the rest of the tour together, they'll build it around your show."
Wow.
And I got it.
Wow.
Awesome. Oh my God.
So that show ended up being the biggest selling show of the year for them, because we thought it would. I honestly thought, it's Creed, right? I thought, it'll sell 10,000 tickets.
Right. And then you got to do math. 10,000 times $40 a ticket, and then hotel and casino stay.
And I'm like, maybe I don't need to open my general admission because it's in the back. We have a big lawn back there. And I go, okay, we'll put 12,000 on sale. We put them on sale. The tickets were gone in a week. And I called the agent back and I said, "Hey, because Creed had a bonus structure on this show, which that's kind of how it works for big. That's why the flat was so low." And I went, "I got 5,000 more tickets I could sell if the band wants me to." And he goes, "Well, do you think they sell?" And I go, "Yeah." And I had not known they were going to announce another show at Moondance Jam for later that summer or earlier in the summer or something like that. And I go, "Yeah, I think it'll sell." We put the 5,000 extra tickets on sale and changed the deal. They sold out in 3 weeks. So we had 17,000.
Wow.
The biggest concert that Treasure Island's ever had was.
There's a lot of 48-year-old white women.
And that's exactly what it was. It was a bunch of Affliction shirts and Dazzle jeans and guys that were just loving it. And I was like, this is a phenomenon. But I will say this. It was an amazing show. They were so good that night. Actually, all the bands were fantastic. And, Three Doors Down, I've had them a few times. I've developed a good relationship with them, and hopefully Brad's going to be okay and everything. They can go back out. But the casino owners were like, "You picked this one. You picked a good one." Because it's their record-breaking show of all time.
Job security.
Yeah.
And what a great band. Like Mark Tremonti is like probably one of the most underrated guitar players of our time. The guy is just incredible. He's if you watch him play, he's like Eddie Van Halen-esque for his age. The guy is just, and he's just like, I just play.
Yeah, he did.
And the lead singer, Scott Stapp, I'm sure he's a little bit different now, right? He's a little bit more humble.
He was
and
super
cool,
nice.
Right?
He was super nice that day. I've dealt with him before at a smaller venue. I booked him solo once. He was jerk off. But this time he was fantastic. He's in good shape. He's not. None of them. They're all sober. 100%.
There's an old video, if you don't know, him and Kid Rock are backstage, and they're both getting attended to by two ladies, and he's like, "It's good to
Oh.
be king."
Oh God.
You know what I mean? And yeah, the girls were on their knees, and I don't have to explain anymore, but you know
Ew.
what I'm saying? He was doing the rock star thing with Kid Rock back in the day. Total fucking douche.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think he got humble, and I think he found Jesus again, so that's good for him. But
Right.
that's a great story. The Creed story, like, oh my God. Is there what's the lousiest experience that you, like, maybe you thought you booked a winner and it was just like, oh,
you know,
fuck,
Patrick,
it
didn't I just ask that
sell.
question? And
Yeah,
you just,
but you
like,
know what?
totally-
It's good because it is. Sometimes you book a show and you think this show is gonna, and it was a smaller venue. This is a smaller venue show, the indoor venue show. But we had booked REO Speedwagon, right?
Right.
Usually that's a home run at a casino, right? Well, when I booked the show, little did I know that the REO Speedwagon thing was going to happen, and they had to change the show to Kevin Cronin Band, but it was still the actual REO Speedwagon band. And we sold 200 tickets, and we lost.
Wow.
But what we did do, and Kevin's manager kept calling me. He's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Well, it's the name." He's like, "But people don't understand. It's the same band." I'm like, "I understand that, but it's the name."
They don't.
Right.
I go,
they
"So
don't know.
this is what I need you to do. I need Kevin to do a bunch of really cool stuff for us." So Kevin volunteered to do like a sound check party and all this. I kind of went old school a little bit on it to see if I could get some people down to the casino.
Right.
And we ended up not winning on it, but we did way better than we should have done.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, I guess it just never worked. And Kevin's manager, Tom, has called me 3 times since. And he's like, "You're still the only show that was ever positive about this show."
Mm.
And I'm like, "Well, I knew what show it was. I just didn't know how to sell the name."
Mhm.
So then he goes and tells me after, he goes, "I saw you did that TV interview and you said REO Speedwagon." I go, "Yeah." And I go, "Am I in trouble?" He goes, "No, you can say REO Speedwagon, but I can't." Like, you should have told me that from the beginning.
Well, oh my God. Yeah. No doubt. Right. Holy crap. That would have been good information
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, because I did it the morning of the show.
And then,
And all of a sudden, we did sell like 700 tickets that day. And it was all because I said it's an REO Speedwagon concert.
Uh-huh.
I didn't care at that point.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I got to sell some tickets.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Am I
Wow.
going to get in trouble?" He's like, "Absolutely not. You are the promoter. You can say REO Speedwagon. You just can't like put up a billboard that says
Says it's REO Speedwagon. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
wow.
And
It's
Paul,
just
you'll
weird how
appreciate
that goes.
this, and the audience too. It's. I was assistant program director here at 94.7, and we decided that we were going to get into the concert business. And in 2012, I think it was, the LA radio stations were doing acoustic Christmas in LA, and they were selling out the Forum, but it would be like a bunch of rock bands doing acoustic shit. So we were like, we're going to do electric Christmas in Sacramento 2 weeks before that. And we could also piggyback on these bands that were like already routing to LA for that show. So my boss goes, "Patrick, go ahead and talk to the label people that you talk to every week," because I was the APD and music director, so I had relationships with labels. And if y'all don't know how it works, is the label calls you and goes, "Hey buddy, here's this new single from this band and we want you to play it." And it's like, "Yeah, but the problem is it kind of sucks," and the problem is there's just we've got too much new music on right now, we'll put it in the hopper, but you have to be political about it. And so we had a pretty good lineup, and I was like, "Dude, I know what you go through. There's a lot of strings, contracts, back and forth, all this bullshit." But I was like, we could not find a headliner at all for this Electric Christmas. I think it was the first year, and Ted Volk was one of my favorite record guys that I talked to, and I told him my dilemma one day. He's like, "You sound like frustrated." And I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta book this show and I don't have a fucking headliner." And he's like, "Well, I represent Bush and they're willing to do anything." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I was like, "But we don't have a lot of money. Like, literally the radio company will give you $150,000 to book a show, and you got to put 5 bands, and your headliner is going to be usually most of it or half of it at least." Yeah. And so I was like, fuck, Bush, really? And I was like, "How much?" And they're like, 25 grand. And I'm like, so being a smart guy, I was like, if they could do it for 20, we could make that happen. And he's like, well, let me talk to Gavin. Like literally, he's like, let me talk to Gavin. I'll call you back. So he calls me back an hour later. He's like, yeah, they're in. And I'm like, can they do like an in studio? We also had at our radio station, they had a lounge. So we would have them do a like 3-song lounge with listeners would win tickets to see, there's 20 listeners in a room the size of your bar right there. And
Yeah.
Bush would play. So they did everything. I got that's my home run story, but we got Bush to do a headlining act for like pennies of what I thought. And the show turned out to be great. However, our audience was skewing younger. So it was kind of weird where the first 4 bands played and it was packed. And then at the end of the night when Bush was playing, it was about half. But,
Yeah.
It's funny.
that's kind of like how that stuff works. And it's like, you just don't know. Like you think, oh, I got Bush. It's going to pack the fucking Sacramento arena. And it doesn't, but
Yeah, and that's a good story because speaking of Bush, I have them coming to Treasure Island.
Oh, really?
But here's the funny part, and I have to give Patrick credit on this. So earlier this summer, I had booked Incubus for the casino,
Right.
and
Great
I was
band.
like, I think it'll be a good show, but they weren't understanding why I thought it would be a good show for the casino. And it was funny because I used an analogy that Patrick actually used when the whole KQRS thing happened, and about why they changed genres and blah blah blah. Because the demographic changed, right? So
Right,
the
right.
demographic for a casino traditionally is 40 to 60.
Yeah. Older
Well,
people that got
right.
money.
The people that the casino was still marketing to were the people that were 40 to 60 25 years ago. So
Right.
those people now are either gone or they're 80,
Or they're
80 or
broke.
90 years old. So, they're like,
Right.
so I'm
They're in
like,
the old folks
we
home.
got to quit doing all these classic rock shows because those people aren't going to come sit down for a concert.
right.
And I'm like, but you know what? What Incubus is? They are now the foreigner from 20 years ago.
Right.
Because the people that are between 40 and 60 listen to Incubus in their 20s. And when they
Right.
were in their 25, when Incubus was at their height and going to concerts, a lot of those people were having kids, building houses, doing all this stuff. Might not have an opportunity to see Incubus.
Right.
And of course,
Yep.
what do you think happened? The casino was packed that night, and we sold out a ton of tickets, and it was all that perfect age group.
Right.
The new casino demographic was there for the Incubus show, and it's just like but it is. I mean, I remember seeing that thing that you posted, Patrick, where you're like, "Hey, the demographic
yeah.
changed, and this is why they did it."
KQ had to
Yep.
change because
Yep.
there's nobody listening anymore. They're,
Yep.
they're on Social Security or in a
Yep.
home. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
So what's
Tom Bernard? Who? Like,
Right.
he's
Well,
not
right,
hip to
right.
a kid anymore.
Yeah.
As much as a legend as he is, but
even Gorman had a problem when he was on the KQ92. I mean, nobody was really listening, and he was the younger version of Tom.
Yep.
And he wasn't. They weren't pulling in what they used to. Being my question, what's pulling in for you guys now? What's the demographic, or what are the bands that are really pulling for you?
It's anything 90s forward. So whether it be 90s country, 90s, 2000s rock does really well. Some of the newer country does okay for us. But the 90s country, I mean, I can turn them and burn them like crazy. Like, I mean, I had the old man, John Anderson, in two weeks ago to play an acoustic show, and he sold 1,700 tickets.
Wow,
And the demographic was the casino demographic.
that's
It's just
incredible.
Stuff like that is just like, it's so easy to just put it on sale, leave it alone. It'll do what it needs to do for the casino.
Right.
The amphitheater I treat a little different because it's more about getting big numbers of people in.
Well, yeah, I mean, like country. I mean, like Florida Georgia Line, who's no more, but when they were like the top selling.
Yeah.
wait, what?
Garth Brooks,
Right,
They
Garth
broke
Gill, Vince Gill.
Well, yeah, they're no more. One of the, I think the
Yeah.
singer is off doing his solo stuff, so they're not doing
It's
it.
only a matter of when they get back.
Yeah, they will get back
what I've
together when
heard.
they run out of
Yeah.
money. Like Motley Crue did like 6 times, and
Yeah, please, Paul. I gotta tell you this from the. I'm sure you know already, but the whole society of the world is telling you, please do not ever book Motley Crue
Nope.
for your place.
See what-
They are so
oh, bad.
freaking
funny.
beating a dead
Bad.
horse. Like
Speaking
Jesus
of-
Christ, they
Speaking
can't
of the-
sing, they can't
yeah.
play. There's not even fucking
No.
Mick Mars anymore.
Nope.
Like what the fuck? Man?
Well,
Well,
there's more than that because last week I got a call about David Lee Roth, and I literally
Oh,
laughed at the
God.
agent. I said, absolutely not. He goes, well, why not? And I'm like, I've seen the videos.
Have you seen the videos of him doing the country folk? He did he was doing Van Halen songs in a country folk setup, banjo and acoustics, and it was yes.
And here's
So
the thing:
bad.
he's
It was
wearing
the
these
most-
tight leather black pants.
Oh
with
my
this,
God,
like,
it was
4-inch
horrible.
Lean, fucking just.
I
it's
used
like,
to have a
Jesus Christ,
poster
man,
of him. I used to have a
I don't wanna
poster of
see
him with
limp
his
dick David
le-
Lee Roth that can't sing.
with his leather
Yeah,
chaps
get
on.
the fuck out of here with that.
Gene had a poster of David Lee Roth with
Oh, yeah.
leather chaps and stuff.
Oh, he had no underwear on, but leather chaps.
Well, back in the day, the guy was king, but nobody wants to see a 78-year-old
Yeah, I
guy
don't wanna- he's
jumping
not a
around.
Smith anymore.
Don't get me
No.
wrong. I'm one of the biggest Van Halen guys around. And I love David Lee Roth and Sammy
Yep.
Hagar, but he was like, oh, you love Van Halen. And I'm like, dude, have you watched the videos? It is so bad. There's no way I'm paying to have him come here. It's terrible.
Exactly,
Did you
because
see the Sammy Hagar recently spoke out about David Lee Roth too, and he was just like,
Really?
he's a shitty singer, and he was a good front man, but he was a shitty person and a shitty singer. Like he just didn't pull back any punches anymore because I think they're older now and he can do it. But
We saw Sammy at
I think
Cabo.
I think he's a good enough singer, but I mean, he had a great style about him.
he had style, but that was
legend.
that was it. It was
That was
style.
when he had hair.
Singing, I mean, he did some things that you can't do vocally, like no one else can do vocally. And he's like an Ozzy, where he's
Well,
got
it's
such a
speaking of
distinct voice.
Ozzy had more, he could walk around the stage better than David Lee Roth now. And Ozzy's dead.
I don't know about that. Dude,
I don't know
my
about that.
God. Oh,
First time I
David
saw-
Lee Roth walking around. I mean, he's like needs a walker.
First time I saw Ozzy, like I think it was at Ozfest in 2000 or whatever. Paul, you remember that? Like it was Ozfest, Xfest, and I was expecting like Ozzy to be like fucking. He wasn't very spry. He just kind of like he just stood there because he was all fucked up on those medications.
Yeah.
But I was like really disappointed in every live Ozzy show I ever saw. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. But
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
Ozzy didn't
I
move
expected
around,
different.
Oh, I thought he was great.
Maybe I was just 20 years late, but
the back in the day, the front man was Zach Wilde. I mean,
Yeah.
Ozzy was great as a vocalist. You looked at Ozzy, but Zach was the one swinging his hair
and
around
Randy
and
before
just.
him.
I mean, you went for the guitar players. Ozzy was cool. He was a badass. But anytime that Ozzy was playing, it was the guitar player that you went and saw, whether it was Jakey Lee, Brad Gillis, Randy Rhodes,
Ozzy
Zach
had
Wilde.
Ozzy had a great
Yeah.
specific way of singing. So
Yeah, he did.
I wanted to pivot from music to Paul. Like 10 years ago, comedy was something that you did in a club. Nowadays, it just I love it because there's been this comedy revolution. I think COVID helped and hurt it at the same time because I think it was about to peak and then COVID shut it down a little bit. But now you've got comedians doing arena tours. You've got your Seguras, Shane Gillis,
Yep.
all these. There's a huge wave of comedy. Are they kind of owned by Live Nation, or B, are they their own thing? And then C, how do you get? Have you figured out because there's like every time there's a huge comedian coming into town here in Sacramento, it's at the casino. So I'm just wondering, is casino venues, like a perfect fit for comedians? And there's a lot on the fucking atmosphere as far as booking goes for you. Like,
Yeah, really. I mean, they.
you know what I'm saying? I've
Yep.
just stumbled over my words because I'm still hammered from last night. But yeah,
Comedies. I mean, they all. So
I'm trying to talk to you.
I talk good.
All right.
I figured I've been around you long enough to get through it.
He speaks Patrick, fluent Patrick.
yeah,
I remember the P Dog days.
After a Sunday Vikings game,
Urban
Paul would
Wildlife.
come into the studio and probably still
Yeah.
smell me from the day before.
I
right?
remember
Monday
one
morning.
time when Jim Marshall passed away. You used to put a story. I'm like, oh, I remember the Sunday nights at Urban Wildlife with Jim Marshall more than a couple
Yeah.
times.
Okay, so after you tell the Patrick story, about the comedians or answer that question, I want to hear some Patrick stories.
Yeah.
We're gonna, yeah.
But,
We're gonna get some.
okay, so let's talk about the comedian
Yeah,
touring
yeah,
opportunities.
So with the comedians, so every big agency, whether it be CAA, WME, UTA, they all have a comedy division. So there's a group of agents that work for them, just like they have a musician. So just a different set of agents. None of them are owned by Live Nation. Live Nation is just a big promoter that they do a lot of business with.
Right.
Same with me. They may call me and say, "Hey, would you be interested in having so and so there, or this person?" But casinos are a prime market for comedians because one, it's easy to put the show on. I could put on a comedian
Microphone and some lights,
Yep,
right?
3 nights in a row. It would barely any production cost to it. I mean, I have Gabriel Iglesias every single year for 3 nights in a row. It sells out every show. I don't know why, but it does.
And it's a microphone. It's not all that other stuff.
And you know what? It's easy. It's not this gigantic
Low overhead is
good. Not a gigantic rider. It's a couple hotel rooms, big deal. But the thing about comedy is I kind of laugh at people who I know are getting free tickets to the comedy shows sometimes, like the casino people. Like, they don't know what they're getting into. They have no idea who the comedy is, and they come, they're like, that was horrible. It might have been horrible in your opinion, but to the people that bought tickets to come to this show, oh, they loved it. And, you get the insult comics. There's been a couple comics where I will read their rider. It'll say straight up, like, just so you're aware, who's ever in the first 2 rows is going to get ripped on. And I'm always like, oh boy, our tribal council sits in the front row at every show.
So I am like, they come out and their first joke is like, "Hey, so I'm an Indian."
Yes. So
I saw a lot of, you guys are feathered, not nut.
No lie. The other night, Dane Cook, the other night he spent 40 minutes and it was like this long drawn out bit about a wedding proposal stuff. It was one of the heads of the tribal council was there. Was the brunt of all of it, and at the end I was like, oh, this is gonna be so bad. I go over to Mike and I'm like, hey, good sport tonight, and he goes, that was awesome.
but that's the thing.
But he knew what he was getting into.
But that's the whole thing. If I bought tickets and somebody said, you want to sit in the front row and you're gonna get ripped down, I'm like, oh yeah. But put me there.
I've had the opportunity to go like, oh, I would love to get this comedian, and I'll literally I have a way to find out exactly who their agent is. And I will call them. So a couple years ago, I was like, you know what? Is Dave Attell doing anything? Because I used to love Dave Attell. I found his agent. I called him. And he's like, yeah, Dave's actually thinking about going back on tour. So, I don't want to make a long-winded story, but we got Dave to come to the casino. And then, so Dave still to this day only operates on a flip phone. He has no tour manager. Nothing.
Right. That's true.
He's calling me, and I pick up the phone, and it's Dave Attell, and he's like, this Paul? I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is Dave, because it was some weird number I didn't know. He goes, I'm coming in at this time. I'm like, yeah, I know what time you're going to be here. I got the cars coming to pick you up. He goes, so I don't have an opener. Can you find me an opener? So no lie, I called the first guy I called was Rudy.
Yeah.
I said, dude, I need an opener for, he goes, are you, because I know Rudy loved Dave Attell. And Rudy's like, are you effing kidding me? I'm like, yeah, I need you to come open for Dave Attell. He's like, I'm there. Well, and so Dave came and did this, but the whole time, so Dave's calling me the entire day, and I can't help but laugh because it's Dave Attell. So then before Rudy gets there, I introduce him to Dave, and he's like, well, hopefully you're okay. He goes, I'll try to be okay. And it's in the total Dave Attell voice, just like the I don't care voice. So I go in the back, to his dressing room to give him his money, his check before the show. He's in there just smoking heaters, and it's non-smoking, whatever. And he goes, can I run a few jokes by you? I said, sure, Dave. He goes, I haven't played live in 2 years. Like, okay, so you want to do your new comedy act on me? And it was all the same jokes. All the old jokes, just done a different way. The whole, the thing with the flute and all that stuff. And he was great, but then Rudy killed it. He just killed it. And Dave loved him. And Dave comes up to me, he goes, who's this Rudy guy? And I go, well, I used to live with him. He's a friend. We've been friends a long time. He's like, he's great. Give me his number. And then he said, I want to take him out to dinner. So they went out to dinner. And I guess he calls Rudy sometimes. It's like, you want to come do a show?
Wow. That's a good hookup.
So it was pretty cool. But it was super cool because Rudy's like, this is the biggest crowd that I've played for yet. And I'm like, really? I'm like, you're hilarious. He's like, yeah, but you got to get that break. You
Sure.
you just need that little break. And so Rudy's like, when I get really big, you're gonna come manage me. And I'm like,
Sign me up.
man.
And Rudy's definitely coming on our podcast, whether it's in November or January. But Rudy, if you don't know, was the afternoon guy for a few years at 93X.
Yep.
And again, he was. Did he quit or was he let go?
He was let go.
Yep.
He was let go. Yeah.
But so just like you and me, we're like cockroaches in the business thing. Like we somehow find a way, and I'm doing it now with this podcast. But he went to KS95 as a producer, morning show producer, and KS95's morning show was #1 for many years. And then he actually found some sort of job where he was editing social media for, like, what was it, Dana Carvey and
Adam Carolla.
Wow.
Well, he's actually on the Adam Carolla podcast from time to time
Yep.
because he still produces and edits, but he'll, like, Adam Carolla, if you've never seen his podcast, he like has rotating guests that he talks to.
Yep.
Adam's he's a soundboard, he just spews, but he has a rotating table of people that sit and go right but Rudy's one of those guys. And then, like, Paul, like I was like, I saw Rudy in the other studio before his air shift because I was working middays, and he'd be in there at noon, and I would be able to pot up the microphone in the other studio and listen to his bits. And he was like, he started out doing like music comedy. He'd bring his guitar in and he would try to do funny songs, and I was like, oh, that's kind of shit. This guy's never gonna do anything. And then I started seeing some clips, and I was like, oh, that's made me chuckle. And then a year later, it was like, holy fuck, that's funny. And then a year after that, and like to present day, I see him, and I'm like, holy shit, the guy's got it going on. Like, he's fucking and you can't crush it as a comedian. You got to do the failure of 5 or 10 years.
Oh yeah.
You just got to get comfortable on stage. But he's done it, and he's ready to pop, man. And so this Dave Attell story, that's fucking hilarious.
Well, that reminds me of David Attell when I used to work at O'Donovan's Irish Pub. David Attell was actually he was performing at the Orpheum. And across the street at First Avenue, I was friends with all the Black Flood Diesel guys and American Head Charge guys. And Benji tells the Drowning Pool guys, hey, you guys got to go over to O'Donovan's when you're done and hang out with Brett. He works there. So ask for Brett. Brett will take care of you. So, Drowning Pool brings the whole bar from First Avenue, like 2,000 people in, and it's me and another guy working, my manager, and we just get buried. And Drowning Pool comes in, it's like, hey, where's Brett? And my manager points over at me, and they come walking around, like, you Brett? And I'm like, yeah, we're Drowning Pool. And I'm like, and I look, and I'm like, so you brought everybody over? And they're like, sorry. So they go,
you'll said, 1, nothing wrong with me.
2, nothing wrong with me. 3, nothing wrong with me. Rah! But it was karaoke night as well on top of it.
Oh shit!
So they're
Let
like,
me guess, they went 1, nothing.
Well, it's funny because they're sitting in front, and this guy named Dean is running the karaoke, and they come up. It's a busy bar, and we're just getting annihilated, and we're sending them drinks. And David Attell shows up. David was performing at the Orpheum, walks in, and Dave Attell, and he was doing the show Insomniac at the time, and he's like in there, he's like going, pulls out a black American Express card, and to have that card, you got to spend like $25,000 a month. He goes like, I'm a little short. Do you think you can throw about $2,000 on this? And I'm like, well, certainly try. And he goes, can I get a few bottles of Jameson? What would you charge me on that? I'm like, well, it's, 1 ounce pour, 1 1/4 ounce pour. And I figure it out. It's 35, shots, $7 a shot. And I figure out, I'm like, yeah, you'd need to buy like a case of here, I'll buy it. So I'm like, but you can't take it. Well, whatever is left over is free for you. Just charge me $2,000.
Wow.
And I'm like going, holy shit, this is awesome. Little did I know that David Attell was like a child when he drinks.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he's walking around with the Jameson bottle. He grabs a bottle and he's trying to
Did you
pour
put
it
a
for
nipple
people.
on it?
Yeah, and I'm like, David, you got to leave it behind the bar and we'll pour it for you. Because he goes, let me see the bottle, and walks away. So I go like this to the drowning pool, and I'm like, hey, guys, you know, this is David Attell. And they're like, the comedian? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, who are you guys? And they're like, we're drowning pool. And he's like, we're playing over at first. Next thing you know, they're buddies. And they're hanging out. And I go, I will serve you anything. Just keep him away from the other people in the bar. Just keep him over on your table. He will serve you all of his Jameson. And they're like, oh, yeah, for sure. So he's over with the band hanging out and they're drinking and having a good time. And like, you know, towards the end of the night, David comes stumbling up and he's like, they want you to pick him a song for karaoke. And Patrick, I think you might have heard this, but Remy Maxwell did. And we talked about it. So they're like, pick a song. And I'm like, oh, you don't ask a jackass like me to pick your song. So I picked Stand By Your Man, Tammy Wynette. And Dean's like, are you serious? I'm like, oh yeah, put it up. And they were great. I mean, Drowning Pool, they were awesome. And they bring David Attell up on stage and David's like, David Attell. Well, he called himself David. So I called him David.
Yep.
So Dave is up there with them and they started singing the Blues Brothers version of Stand By Your Man. And they're doing the actual Stand By Your Man, doing that stuff. And it was hilarious. And the whole crowd is laughing. They're having a good time. David Attell's up there. Dave Attell is up there. And then, you know, and they're asking for other stuff. And the last song that I picked for him was Feeling Like a Sunday Morning by the Commodores.
Perfect.
And they did that song. So we're picking those songs. And it was hilarious. But Dave. Sorry,
Dave.
Patrick.
Dave.
Sorry, Pat.
The name Nazi.
So Dave Attell was he was so fun. And he complimented this, you know, heavy metal rock band. I mean, it was so much fun. And everybody that was there when they came back always talk about the night that Dave Attell was hanging out with Drowning Pool. And they closed the place down. I mean, we had to call a cab and make sure the cabbie, I had to call a special cab guy I know to make sure that David made it to his hotel room in one piece.
Was it Izzy?
No, it was another guy. He's no longer with us, but he drove a limo and he picked him up and dropped him off.
The special cab was that driven by a guy with Down syndrome? Like, what do you mean?
No, he drove a limo and it was for hospitality people, and I had to pay him a little extra to take care of Dave.
The guy,
and
We
he
knew
goes,
those guys back in the day.
So Patrick, the guy that used to drive for pretty much all of the 93X people,
Yeah,
is he?
yeah. I was
He
gonna
is
say,
my
you knew that guy.
he's my driver for the casino. Not kidding. I hired him, and he's my
Tell him
full-time
I
guy.
said hello.
I will.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, he would fuck. He had our numbers and shit. Like after a concert at Target Center, he'd be like, "I'm at fucking like 6th and First Avenue. Bring your crew." So like Remy, Weasel, whoever the fuck was in the group, like we're going to Rick's, you know, or we're going to the Gold. What was it? The Gold
Gold Rush.
What was the other one?
Cheeks.
Sheik's Palace Royale or Rick's. Yeah, we would get the fucking service. Then we'd just get out and like each of us would hand him a $10 bill. He made $60 driving 3 blocks.
Yep.
He fucking loved us.
He's solid gold.
He's solid gold. Yeah.
Solid gold. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you'd know it, you fucking pervert.
I saw you there. You were sitting
But, I
next to me.
The thing is, though, I mean,
But I had VIP. You fucking sat in the lower with the scoundrel.
Patrick got the lap dance.
yeah.
I don't pay for my lap dances.
Well, nowadays you get a lap dance. You don't know if it's a girl or a boy.
The
Have
tricky
you
world.
seen those Thailand videos where they're walking down the row where like me sucky, and then the guy goes, "Are you boy girl or girl girl?"
Boy girl,
And they
yeah.
go, boy girl. They'll legit say the boy girl, and I'm like, okay, how much?
I was working security last night, and this guy kept hitting on me. And he was like, every time you go to the bathroom, I stand by the door. He's like, you're cute. Then he'd go, you're hot. You're really good looking. I'm like, dude, I'm like old enough to be your dad. But I guess he hit on Sonny too, the other guy that I was working with.
There was
too.
some other guy
Never-
working.
Yeah. He was so drunk he didn't know who he was talking to.
He was probably just
No.
horny.
But so some of these Thailand boy girls, like they look like I'd still like if I made out with one of them, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay,
Like in The Hangover?
Hey, about
The Hangover 3.
3-4 summers ago, I
I
was
woke
right
up, my
after
butt hurt.
COVID. The first summer after COVID. So funny story. My technical boss, the marketing director, he wanted me to do a drag show. Okay.
He didn't want you to do it. He
No.
wanted you to book one.
He was into that type of thing. So I found
Okay.
I got a hold of RuPaul's agent.
Oh,
And
wow.
awesome.
we brought all of the cross people, whatever, all of them from the RuPaul drag season, whatever,
Mhm.
to the casino. And they did a show outside, like on this little small stage I put out there. It was actually kind of an entertaining show, to believe it.
Yep.
Then they
Yeah.
came inside, and when I saw them all before they were in their costumes, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh, it's a bunch of small guys. When they were in those costumes, there is no way
No,
most of
you're
them
not
you could
telling
tell.
them. No, you're not.
and I was
telling
like, stop looking over there.
them.
They were all cool. They're all nice. And,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
you-
fun.
How? It's like, how?
But no, that shit is amazing. Like,
It's called tape.
like I
Yeah.
used to go. No, we used to. I'm not saying we. I used to go by myself. No, I'm just kidding. But
The
no,
90s.
A couple of my buddies and I, we would go to the 90s, and there were the drag nights, and there was like, I think 90% of the crowd was hetero. They were there for the show.
Yeah.
It was so
I brought a date
freaking
there.
good.
I brought there, yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like I know there's like a lot of trans hate and all this bullshit going on right now, but dude, you walked into that place, and it was a fucking party, and it was
Yep.
one of the best times I ever had in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Is
So
when you went into a drag show at the 90s or something. Like, it was so fucking cool.
we've done drag boat cruises since then. Like the entertainment value is fantastic. It's really, really good.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So let's talk about that. You guys have the ability to do like Treasure Island boat cruises? And
Yeah,
shit?
we own a yacht. We own a yacht down there in our
So you're-
marina. Yeah.
So is it like open for like, could a rich guy just book it
He
for
could
a
if he
day?
wanted. He could if he wanted.
Or
Yeah.
you could do a Creed private
Yep.
performance on a boat.
100%.
on a weekend.
Or you could
Holy
have a
shit.
podcast called At the Bar with
could.
on a boat.
Oh, and
Yes.
trust me,
Podcast?
Captain Sid would be fantastic on his podcast.
Ah,
Well-
Sid is awesome, and his
Oh.
stories are so
We'd
good.
like to welcome our new
Okay,
booking
yeah,
agent.
Give the information. We would
yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
have
We
him
would actually, you know what? If we were able to do it, we would do
Oh,
a.
Captain
This
Sid's
is a
great.
podcast without
Doing a
fucking name,
podcast.
kind of.
Yeah.
We're just looking for good stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
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 Anybody that you
Get
want to
the
bring on.
Capitan.
or-
Speaking of
Sid.
which, Patrick, do you have a stupid story of the week?
I did. And I
Oh.
I put it on ice.
I think
but
we were going to
I
talk
can pull it
about.
up here.
We were going to talk about stupid stories about Patrick.
Yeah, we can do stupid stories about Patrick after this.
Yeah.
This is kind of fun.
Okay.
Okay, so skateboarding pig wins Guinness World Record. And this was October 23rd.
Was that you, Brett?
A perfectly poised pig from Illinois earned a Guinness World Record when he showed off his skateboarding skills and took a 33-foot ride in just over 11 seconds. So basically, you just got to put a pig on a skateboard and push him down a hill to break that record if you want to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. But so Norbert the pig from Buffalo Grove earned the record for the fastest 10 meters pushing a skateboard by a pig, managing the feat in just 11.32 seconds. After a handful of sessions, we finally hit the sweet spot and his run went perfectly, the owner of the pig said. He said Norbert earned the nickname Tony Pork in honor of the legendary skateboarder Tony Hawk.
And everybody ate bacon.
Oh, yeah, if he wiped out and died, everybody would have had bacon.
Upon his death, he was renamed Chris P. Bacon.
I tell you, if I was still working, I would have beat that record.
With your
Beat the meat,
with your
wouldn't you?
with your bacon shirt on.
Well, I I was the
strips
I
in your
was the
shorts.
I was the bacon for a while.
Yeah, he smells of pork product.
I used to when I was working for Past, we used to do a promotion at the Triple Rock. Remember the old Triple Rock?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every Tuesday night it was $2. It was tall boys and bacon, and basically everybody drank PBR tall boys. And we had this is way before COVID days. We had plates of bacon all over the bar, and people would just come. Yeah, best promotion ever.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a weight limit, like a 300-pound guy. You're like, no, you can't have more than 2.
Cut him off from the beer. No,
insurance
bacon.
risk. Dude,
What was
the
that?
insurance risk on that? The guy goes home and has a fucking heart
Heart
attack on the
attack.
sidewalk.
What was that comedian who talked about the buffet? And he goes, I walked up. He goes, "You've been here for an hour. You go home now.
Yeah, big guy. Yeah,
Big guy,
no, you
yeah.
go home.
You go home now. You've been here for an hour."
Yeah.
The other
right.
Louis Anderson bit is oh my God, I loved it. It was it just escaped me. Oh fuck. Never mind. It'll come back to me. But yeah, when it comes back. But yeah, Louis was the greatest. Yeah, you go home. You've been here for
He
an hour.
goes, I walk up. And then all of a sudden the manager comes out and goes, "Oh, no, we don't have enough. We don't have enough."
In stupid news, actually, I was scrolling through, like, I think this was early in the week. I saw, like, there was a legit story about somebody that got cut off at a fucking bar, one of those things. Like 4 hours, they were out. They got kicked out.
Oh my God, that's funny.
The Louis bit was Louis Anderson was like, "Oh God, could you imagine if the world was like coming to an end?" And they saw me and they'd be like, "Oh, follow him. He knows where the food is."
Patrick stories. Any good Patrick stories?
They just won't let that go.
No.
We got time for one Patrick story.
One?
No,
One-
you
one
can't have
good-
any Patrick
I think
story.
my best Patrick stories usually always involve the urban wildlife.
The urban wildlife.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Man, we had some wild times in that place.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, literally, you could walk in on a Sunday night after a Vikings game. You'd see Patrick, you'd see Jim Marshall,
Yeah.
and then you'd see various other weirdos from around Minneapolis. Yeah, just that's where we all like to go. And but yeah, the one he told earlier about that little Somerset excursion, that whole weekend was a blur.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
funny because like Patrick's like, hey, I never got girls. It's funny. Patrick did. It's like, you're Patrick from
Well,
93X.
Here's the funny part is I've had artists come play for me at Treasure Island that were like stained. I had Stained a couple years ago, actual Stained. And I was talking to Aaron and I was like, we used to do a lot of stuff for you. I was at 93. He goes, well, you were at 93X with Wendy and all those guys? I said, yeah. And he starts telling stories about like X Fest because the DJs partied harder than all the bands. But yeah. But that was pretty cool. So I've had a couple come through that are like, oh my God, you're bringing back bad memories now. Or good memories.
Paul, I'm going to bring this up. It was. I'm not going to name the girl, but you'll know when I start talking about it. You dated a girl that worked at 93X, but then I don't think you were dating her at the time. But then she was super hammered, and you were hanging out with her, and she was like, "Oh my God, Patrick, you're so hot." And I was like, "Cool, thanks." And she was just like, "Yeah," and it was like I could have like capitalized on that, and I didn't, out of respect for you, because I know that she's still your friend, but
we could have been Eskimo buddies.
But,
Eskimo brothers.
yeah, we're Eskimo brothers at some point. But no, I didn't do it because she was just so drunk and just like but you were like looking at me laughing, like just fucking like you were like, you should do that. And I was just like, I don't know, man. She's way tequilaed out, man. And I was like, fuck.
That's a Jerry Springer show. I mean, literally, there's a Jerry Springer show where the one girl comes on and confesses to her boyfriend, I slept with your friend. And he goes, yeah, I know. And his friend comes out. They slap 5.
I set it up for you.
Yeah.
There was a lot. No, there was a lot of Eskimo stuff going on at 93X. Like I literally, I can honestly say, I don't know about Remy. Well, in a way, I'm connected to Remy, but not directly. But Weasel. No, I'm just,
So
let's
how
just
many
say we shared some girls over the
how many kids do you have? Do you have any kids?
No kids.
that you know of.
Yeah.
Because you worked at 93X.
But also,
Yeah.
but also no STDs. So hey,
Me too, man. That's the most proud thing I am. I've never had to go to the Red Door Clinic, man. I was like,
Yeah.
How do you even know there's a Red Door Clinic if you didn't have to go?
Your
well,
friends
we
went
know
there.
people that know.
Oh,
He had it
no.
on speed dial just in case.
Just in
I had to refer people from Tropics.
oh yeah.
I'm looking at you, Stacy. Stacy used to work at Tropics.
Oh,
Paul,
those
did
were
you
some
know,
days.
Like I worked at Tropics before I worked at 93X, and
Really?
as a security guy, and like Stacy did too. And we figured out when we first met, like at the same time, we were like, we worked together and didn't even fucking know it. Like 30 years ago, it was like fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
But shit, I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna go somewhere with that.
Old age happening, Patrick.
I want to see
Oh, no,
Patrick's face turn red. Come on, Paul, with these stories.
I can't. Well, that's the problem.
Yeah,
is
no,
we can't
no,
recall
that's
a
what
lot
I
of
was
them.
gonna say is he can't come up with any because I was such a fucking good dude. When it comes down to it, I didn't fuck a lot of people over.
Like,
Unlike,
yeah, he was actually,
Jesse, or no.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Let's not bring that one up, right?
Fucking over and fucking are two different things, though, Patrick.
I'm definitely a Eskimo brother with Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do a
and
lot of editing here.
Patrick, off air, we'll go there because I can give you a whole nother layer to that. Has nothing to do with me, but it's funny because a couple years ago something weird happened. I was like, oh my god, that's so and so.
Yeah. No, I just
Yeah.
talked to Jesse 2-3 weeks ago, dude. And we were talking about doing a podcast too. But yeah, no, Jesse and I are like, it's great. It's fine. But no, he and I thick like thieves, I think. For
is
a
the
minute,
proper
but-
term.
Yeah.
So
But,
any cool
yeah.
any upcoming events that you can tell us about
Yeah,
that are
What
coming
about
to
the future of Treasure Island?
Well, I mean, funny. Next weekend I get to do the Hmong New Year. That should be fun. I won't understand a word they say.
Okay.
But it'll be a super cool show. They always do good shows. But again, like I have Bush come in. I have Aaron Lewis in a few weeks coming back to do his country show this time. This will be like the 4th year I think I've had Aaron back. So we've
How long do you have to go out before it's like, okay, I need to
I go out about 8 months.
8
usually.
months? Okay.
For the summer though, but for summer shows, the big ones, I try to get them done before the end of the current year.
Okay.
For 2020.
So you're already looking into summertime right now.
Yeah. Right now I am.
What's the industry standard of like booking shows? Is it
6 to
usually
8 months. Yeah, 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
We do have a big event that I'm going to be announcing in a couple weeks. It's a big, like it's almost harkens back to the old X Fest days. We're going to finally do an actual rock fest out there.
Cool.
Oh,
June.
sweet.
So yeah, it'll be cool. A lot of the bands that were popular back when Patrick and I were at 93X are going to be be this.
Can we get our tickets now?
No.
Nope.
Daddy's gonna.
So we're going to be hitting you up for those tickets, right?
You know, you could. But
no, that fascinates me too. Like the Iron Maiden thing just dropped, and like how long? Because obviously they just don't like drop a fucking a tour, and it's like it just got worked out in the last 3 days.
No,
like, it takes. You gotta like whoever's putting the tour together is another animal, right? Like there's a lot of coordination that has to go into that because you're also dealing with arenas that have basketball and hockey and all that bullshit.
Yes.
Brett met Bruce Dickinson.
Is that beneficial to you? Actually, by the way, I was going to ask. So you've got Target Center and XL, but they have other events going on. Does that benefit Treasure Island a lot?
It does at times because the way it really works is like they have all these different offers from around the country from different venues, right? And then as they're putting the tour together, they want it to make sense. They usually don't want a band to have to travel more than say
a day or two without
more than like 8 hours,
right?
8 hours because of rules with drivers and stuff like that. So they have to map it all out, and they might be like, "Oh, this is the only day we can come to Minnesota."
So if a band's playing in Chicago and Target Center and XL is booked.
Yep,
and their next gig is we're not going to go to Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Right. The first thing they're going to do is probably call us or like Duluth or maybe Fargo. That's not too far. But yeah, that's literally how they do it. They piece it together like a puzzle.
So
and
you
do it
can
so
pick
it
up a
makes
phone
sense.
call and go, "Oh, this works for us.
Yep.
Does it work for you?" And you go, "If it's Creed, yes."
Yeah. Sometimes I'll get like the whisperings of something that's going to be coming out, and I'll be like, oh, find the agent. I'll call him and say, hey, I know I've heard
If you
this
need
might
a
be
go-between.
happening. And
Yeah.
he's like, they'll be like, okay, give us an offer. So we have a standing offer from you. And I call it a mutually agreeable. So it doesn't have to be a specific date. I'll mutually agree on a date. So then if they find a date that works, and I'm like, that date, will work for us. For us, mostly it's Thursday through Sunday.
So I'm going to get into the nuts
call
and
me.
bolts of this.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to do to get your bosses? So if they say, give us an offer, you come up with 200,000. Do you have to go to your boss and go, here's 200. I want to offer 200 grand. I think it'll do this, and the other thing. And they go, okay, Paul, I trust you. Or they go,
no,
I don't know. It's a
no.
little fucking shaky.
I use a lot of numbers. I create a thing they call Performa. And basically it's a document that has all what I think the expenses are going to be, how many tickets I think will sell. These are going to be the ticket prices.
Worst case, best case.
Yes,
scenarios,
exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yep. And then I present that to them, and then they go, oh, let's do it. And I say,
is it literally a half-hour meeting where you present this shit and they go,
or an email.
yeah.
Nowadays it's an
they
email.
Go, these guys are not up to our standards.
Yeah.
Like let's say Jim Gaffigan ripped on the Indian community in a previous special. They'd go, no, we don't want Jim Gaffigan because he's a fucking piece of shit. But he would never do that. I'm just saying.
Right.
That was an example. But they have to also consider that.
Yeah,
and
they
go,
do.
no.
Yeah, because then I go and I find numbers like from other shows, like kind of in the market.
Right.
And,
So it's almost like being a realtor. You're like, here's a comp.
Yes.
Now,
Like,
do you have to
they
put a
did
multiple?
this casino in Michigan, and they did this amount of money.
Exactly. It's exactly what I do.
Perfect. Okay.
So you have to put a multiple offers.
What a cool
in
job
case,
you have,
in
man.
case one doesn't fall. Or one,
I sometimes, so I usually will have a it's a dual offer. So I'll have one that just like, so they say this is what they would normally get for their rate, flat rate, right? And they're going to get that no matter what, whether they sell no tickets or they sell this many tickets. That's what they're going to get. But then I do another offer that's maybe a little bit less on the guarantee, but I put a back end on it so they get a certain percentage of, if we sell over this amount of money, they're going to get this percentage.
Like Creed.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It was 12. We guaranteed 12, but you got 5,000 more, but you're going to get more money because you sold 12,000 in a week.
Yep. And I'll have bands that come at me like, there's a band right now that we're trying to get, and they're like, well, we want $1 million. And I'm like, you're not worth $1 million in my opinion right now. One, you've played the market a lot in the last 5 years. Two, I don't know. I mean, I know the last
you gotta
time.
take into saturation.
Right.
They've been here, done that so many times. Who's going to come out again?
So then I offer them. So I was like, all right, I'll offer them this, but with a big back end. Now, if they really are that popular of a band, they think they're that band, they'll easily earn that money and get that bonus.
Like, we're going to give you $1,000, but if you hit 1,500 yards and 7 touchdowns, we're going to give you $1 million.
Yeah. And casinos like to do the incentive-based deals because it's less risk for the casino, and the artist actually wins more, but it's just less risk on us buying the show.
It also probably takes a little bit of the advertising aspect out of it. They
does.
need to promote their own.
They need to promote.
Shit,
That's
right?
what I like.
Right.
Yep. Old school.
And
Yep.
the less time you guys spend promoting, the bands are promoting it. That's genius. It's
So
what about so besides that, other venues that you guys are doing? Are you guys doing any fights like boxing or UFC?
I've done boxing. I've done wrestling. I've done anything.
So it's wide open. I mean, whatever brings you money, you're doing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Much. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And so it's all on the website. I mean, is there a web
www.ticasino.com.
So they go to Treasure Island Casino. They can see all the upcoming stuff up to about 8 months, and they can do that. That's absolutely fantastic.
And we
Paulie Rockendorf, my Eskimo brother. It was so good to see you tonight, man.
Absolutely.
Great.
All right, folks. If you are looking for a good time, check out the Treasure Island Casino. Yeah, my pants too. Their website, and you can see all the upcoming events. Paul, thank you for joining us. Folks, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share our page. We can't do this without you, and we're happy to have you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for checking us out. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.